All right, we're live on StreamYard. Now we're just waiting for YouTube to catch up. Yeah, there we go. YouTube is live. All right. So, okay. So, let me wait a few minutes here till somebody shows up. Well, Raphael's in the chat, but I think he stepped out because when you look at YouTube, it says nobody's in the chat. So, all right. So anyway, welcome to Rick's Life as I See It. Uh, what can I say? Have my usual hour chat here on a Wednesday night. We talk about anything that crosses my mind, basically, from guns to politics to cooking to life in general. It's just the way this show has evolved, I'm afraid. And you know, I don't mind it. We got some we've had the last few days, we've had some nice cooler weather. It's only been in the mid 80s, but starting tomorrow, it's back up in the 90s for the next 4 days. We don't even have rain in the schedule until Sunday, I think. So it's going to be a hot 4th of July weekend. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right where I'm at. You know? So in my younger days, I done all the cool stuff to do with 4th of July. In my old age, I just want to be I just want it to be nice and quiet. You know, might throw a few burgers on the grill. You know what I'm saying? There's, if I want to see fireworks, I can step outside the neighborhood. Every year I've been here, two or three of the neighbors do fireworks. So, we got that. What I would love to do is when they're firing off their fireworks, I go out there with my handgun and just, I wouldn't just point it in the air and shoot because the bullet goes up, the bullet's got to come down, and it ain't no telling what it hit. But I could always shoot it right into the ground, to do my, but I don't know. I don't know how my neighbors would take to that. I've never done it, but it's always something that I've wanted to do. Now, if I was living on my own place, I might consider it. But so I'm just filling in. I'm just filling in time here to people start showing up. If anybody's wondering what I'm waffling on about, so yeah, that's about it. I don't expect to see many people here tonight, to be quite honest with you, being this close to the 4th of July. People are getting ready for their weekend or going away or traveling to wherever they're going. It's it's that time of year. So anyway, I did notice though here around the lake and the creek down the road and shit, it's all starting to, because we've been up in the 90s for weeks now, and the water this time of year, unfortunately we get bad algae on the lake and in the streams and creeks around here, and it's I don't like it. I mean, I don't go into them anymore, but what I'm saying is you can't even let your dogs into the water, to cool off because the algae will kill them. I mean, the water it's terrible, makes them sick and all kinds of stuff around here. I mean, there's been cases of it that hearing about dogs dying every year down at the lake here, so unfortunately. And problem is, the time you figure it out what's wrong with them, it's too late. It's gone too far. So it's kind of sad. So you got to keep for what, July and August at least, you got to keep your animals away from the lake or from going into the water. Because it is kind of dangerous around here, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm waffling on, so let me get this show going. I mean, I think we got a couple of people here, not many. But anyway, let me introduce my panelist. You might not be able to hear him because he's traveling and he's in a sketchy area right now. But anyway, we got the one and only New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Sorry for the delay and the background noise. Got caught up at work longer than I was expecting to. So basically, currently trying to head back home now with a loaded truck, and still got to do a bunch of unloading once I get home. So apologize for forgetting my earbuds. So mic would be a bit better, but if it's too much of a problem, say something in the chat, and Rick can kick me out of here.
All right, that'll work. But right now we can hear you quite good right there. So yeah. Good. So I mean, really, hey Kevin. Anyway, the first person in the chat tonight was Raphael. He was in early too. Then we got Gun Hobo. Then Kevin in New York. And we got some lurkers somewhere, I'm sure. But hopefully more people will show up as it goes on. But if they don't, as I said, I'm not expecting a lot of people tonight because of being what time of year it is. People are traveling and all that kind of good stuff. And I've done something different tonight. I actually ate before the show.
Oh.
Yeah, I had pork chops, baked potato, and a salad.
Sounds good.
So, yeah. So I'm doing all right now tonight. Now, the pork chops on the old grill, weren't bad, So.
I don't think I've ever had grilled pork chops.
You got to try it. It's pretty good.
Huh.
I like, just put some salt and pepper, seasoning oil, garlic, or whatever on it. Throw them on the grill. Only takes about 10, 12 minutes to do it. 6 minutes each side.
Right.
They come out quite nice. And they got that barbecue taste to them. It's really, you need to try it. You really do. So. Yeah. So, but I said I'm more likely this time of year now that I got I told you I got a new grill. Well, new to me. Got it off one of my neighbors. It's one of them big. I mean, it's a humongous 4-burner thing, and then it's got the, the burner on the side and table on the other side. It's enormous. It's an old. It's an old Kenmore 4-burner grill. I looked it up. I mean, it's a few years old, but I looked it up. They were around back then. They're around $350. To me, I would never pay that much for a barbecue. For a grill. But hell, the guy gave it to me, so I took it. And he even gave me a gas bottle, a propane tank too. So hell, all I had to do is take that down to the store and trade it in for a full one for $23. So that's not a bad deal.
I was talking to a friend of mine last weekend, and he told me about a place here where we can go fill them up for like $16, $15. Your tank. Yeah. So you don't. So I won't get stuck doing an exchange all the damn time. So.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather fill them up, and I want to get another tank anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing is more annoying than running out of propane halfway through cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe you only have the one tank, right?
Yeah, for right now,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Obviously, they're cheaper to fill than exchange. So if you got a place around that fills them, if it's not an old tank, go get it filled or whatever. But
Yeah.
there
Well,
should be a date on the tank, and the date, like the tank inspection or something like that.
yeah,
So if it's past that date, then I would exchange it. If it's not, then you can go get it filled, save some money.
yeah, yeah. I actually believe I'm going to. I didn't catch him today, but I'm the my trash guy.
Yep,
He
yep.
I talk to him all the time. I'm going to ask him, does he ever? Because it's amazing what trash people get thrown out. I'm going to see if he can if he's got any spare tanks knocking around. You know,
Yeah.
as you said, if I can get a tank, I can go trade it in. Then I'll have two tanks.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my next move. Oh, Kevin in New York, he says he's driving in Brooklyn. God,
Uh,
that must be horrible.
yeah, I'd rather be driving where I'm at than there. Uh,
Yeah, oh yeah,
Surrounded by hills and the mountains, everything's green.
yeah,
Uh, all you can smell is grass and corn, I guess. So people
yeah.
cutting their grass and lots of cornfields.
Oh, we got corn growing out here right now. It's corn or it's soybeans. You know,
Okay, yeah.
because the farmers rotate the field, the crop every year or every other year because
Okay.
corn drains the soil's nutrients really bad. So I've heard. But anyway, we got that around here too. The hills and we even have pastures of cows out there. So besides smelling the grass cutting and the corn, we get the cow shit too. You know?
Yep. We
Yeah.
passed them already just a little while ago. There was
Yeah.
actually a couple babies and then some of those little midget horses. I can't think of what the heck they're called now, but uh, Shetland ponies as
Shillings.
well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. But yeah. So but I get that. That's my thing every day. It's nice. I think it was a good move for me to move out here. I like it out here. It's I'm out in the middle of nowhere. The only downside is if you want to go to town, even our if you need to go to the box stores, it's a 12 to 15. Well, to hit the edge of town's 12 miles. To hit where the box stores are, it's 15. So
okay, yeah.
that's the one downside. And you think, well, 15 miles ain't bad, yeah, but when you're driving down windy roads and you're driven all the way there, which is going to take you 20 minutes plus, then whatever time you spend there, then 20 minutes back, then you get back, get unloaded, and you said, shit, I forgot to pick up anything. And normally you just can't jump in your car and go back again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just not feasible. So
Yeah,
hey,
not
Tony
practical.
York, how you doing? So yeah. So normally if I don't have it this trip, it will wait until the next time I go.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the older I get, the less I like going to town. I normally only go there if I got to go, a doctor's appointment mainly is what I'm there for.
Yeah.
And
I think as we get older, I even feel the same way in a sense. I know I live in town or in a city or whatever, on the outside, whatever, but I prefer to avoid the downtown area or all the crowds if possible, usually. So, I like quicker in and out. I've already been there, done that, whatever the case may be. So, it doesn't really excite me anymore unless something's going on. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess when you're young, you like just, I guess, driving everywhere, I guess. But I don't know. Get older, I don't want to go to the store unless I have to. I don't
Yeah.
window shop. I don't, when I go in to grab what the hell I'm looking for, and I'm out. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have to fondle stuff. Look at this, or no. That
Yeah.
just ways to blow more money.
Absolutely. I mean, if I need anything really desperately, I'll go to we got a dollar store 4 miles away. I'll go to the dollar store, pick it up to get
Yeah.
me by. Otherwise, if I ain't got it, I can go without. So, yeah, going to town costs money. You're right there, Tony.
Yep.
You can't go to town. I mean, it does. It costs you money, no matter how you say you're not going to spend any. You've got to get gas to get there and back, and depends what time of day you got there. There's always something that you're going to buy while you're in town, guaranteed. So I try to stay away as much as possible.
Even more so if you're with your other, because
Yeah.
generally us guys, we can get away with not buying stuff, but girls always got a list of shit they'd like to have.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I could go to town and come back without buying anything if I really, I've done that. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm not lying. I've done that before. I've gone to town, gone to the doctor's, gone in, come out, jumped back in the truck and drove home. Did you pick this up? Did you pick that up? No, because I don't need it. You didn't ask me.
Yep.
I just put half a cow in the freezer so I can eat. Very good, Tony.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
That is the way to do it. So, yeah, you got a local farmer around there you buy it from, Tony? Kevin says, I smell a lot of grass in Brooklyn. Yeah, we know what kind of grass you're smelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You smell a lot of that brown Binghamton area too. So
Yeah.
just
Tony,
going to the store or gas station or whatever, there's just floating around apparently.
Yeah. Hey, Shady Hill Homestead, good to see you. Yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to avoid the topic of. I'm afraid. Last I heard, I mean, the Republicans, us 2A guys, the Republicans fucked us again. On the suppressors and short barrel rifles.
Okay, yep, I heard that was removed.
It was removed. Well, the getting rid of it was it's all they did in the Senate was remove the $200 tax stamp. You still got to register it.
Yeah.
Right. That was going to disappear altogether, but it got kept in there. And what worries me is, say the Democrats get back in power, what's stopping them from, putting the tax stamp back on it and doubling the price? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm thinking negative there, but now it's gone back to the House because the Senate made changes, and this is where the problem is. A couple of House representatives made amendments to put it all back in again. all the stuff they took out, and the House wouldn't pick it up. They said no, we'll just go with it. They're voting on the bill now as it came from the Senate. And what's so annoying, they're only doing it for they can meet Trump's deadline of getting it there by the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And I ain't figured out how. I know there's a way of doing it. Now I have to research it, but I want to see how my representatives in the House voted, because if they voted to go, not to put it in there, I'm sorry. When midterm comes, they ain't getting my vote. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who I'm going to vote for, but they ain't getting my vote.
Yeah. You have to make a note and remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to check with my senators too, because I ain't going to vote for them either. Because they're the ones that didn't fight to put it back in. So I'm just annoyed. They've got it. They've got the House. I know they only need 51 votes in the Senate. So they've got it. They've got it in the House. They've got it in the Senate. They got Trump in the White House, and they fucking let the Democrats shaft them in the ass yet again. And the Democrats aren't even in charge. Oh God, it just pisses me off. It really does. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't like how they tend to go with like the party leader or whatever. How they all try to fall in line. I'd rather they at least if they're going to fall in line, they fell in line the right way. But I don't like the fact that you may feel something's good, but then you go say no because you're that's what they're telling you to do. In a sense, it's like, well, I don't know, but I guess that's going to ruffle feathers even within the same party or something. But personally, I think it shouldn't be a general party thing. It should be what's good, what's not good. It shouldn't be I don't know. So
see, I know if you Trump got, what was it, 78 million votes or something like that to win the presidency. He was up there, right? So gun owners, right, is a big chunk of voters, and we voted to put Trump in there because besides some of the things he said he was going to do, part of it was he come out and said he was big on the Second Amendment, even though he almost screwed up last time he was in the presidency, But I thought, well, this time we're giving he's got smarter. His sons have been talking to him about guns and shit, so he's got a bit smarter on that. But if the way it's going right now with this suppressors and short barrel rifles, a lot of gun owners are going to say, fuck you. They're not even going to turn out for the midterms or the next general election. He's going to lose them. The Republicans are going to lose the gun owners totally. And that is a big chunk of people. I'm not saying is it going to make that much of a difference if gun owners don't show up? It could,
it's possible.
It could make the difference between them winning and losing something, So anyway, I got a feeling because of this thing is we were saying, the way the Democrats have been acting ever since they lost. We think keep this up because you ain't never getting back in. But if this big beautiful bill and the way they screwed it up, the Republicans, might be in for a shock come midterms, because they've let a lot of they've let a lot of people down who voted for Trump, and for him to do certain things. You know, you're right, Tony. Most people don't show up for midterms. You know, and that's what I'm saying. But they would need them this time. I mean, and there wouldn't be a problem if if things had gone like they were meant to. People would show up who normally don't. I'm not a great. I mean, I haven't voted. I'll be honest. I haven't voted every midterm, you know, but I do go if something I really want, you know, somebody's grabbing me, but sometimes I don't go in the past, you know, but hell, if I'm going this time, if the way they're treating us, I mean, am I one party, one item, you know, thing like it's 2A or nothing? To a certain degree, it's a big part of why I voted Republican. You know, this time around, it was a big part. Plus, I wanted to, you know, get the border under control and all that good shit. But 2A was still to me, 2A was still above securing the border. You know, so you know the way they're screwed us on this Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act. I mean, right now I feel like fuck it. Why should I bother to vote? They ain't listening to me anyway, and they never have. I mean, why I'm thinking they would, I don't know. It just, you know, you vote in the midterms, Tony? Yeah, I said I am. I said I didn't. I mean, I voted in the last two. The one before that I didn't. You know, so, but right now, the way I'm feeling right this second, I ain't voting when the next midterms come up. Fuck it. Not the way they've treated me. I'm taking it as a personal insult to me. You know, normally I don't let it get me that. Yeah, I get riled, as you guys know, but I feel like this is a personal insult to me, to Rick. They're fucking with me. You know. Yeah. So
take it too personal, Rick. They're fucking with everybody.
Yeah. They are. You know, it just I don't know, I'm just disappointed. Very disappointed. So anyway, that's that was I got that off my chest, you know. So we'll see what happens. You know, I mean, because I really was talking myself into buying a suppressor because I'll be able to walk into the gun store, fill out my 4473, which I still don't agree with, but that's all we were meant to do, and walk out with it. That was beautiful, you know. But now I can walk into the store. We still got to do the thing. We still got to fill out all the paperwork, the fingerprints, the photograph. You know, we don't have to pay the $200, but it's all got to be registered, and we got to wait for it to come back from, you know, the NFA or the ATF. They're the ones that approve it, I think, aren't they? Whatever, to get our tax stamp. And why we need a tax stamp, all it's going to have on it is 0, because that's what it is now, 0, if it passes. You know? And to me, it's like, you know, it's like a kick in the teeth. You know, it shouldn't even be in the NFA. Everybody's watching. I'm holding up my fingers so close together. We were that close to having it, and the Republicans shafted us yet again without Vaseline. You know, we had the votes. It only needed 51. You know, I mean, because the parliamentarian, is that you pronounce it? said it didn't pass the Burr rule. It was a goddamn tax. It says it was a tax. It's a tax stamp. You know? And that's all the NFA is a way to collect taxes and a registry. The registry is illegal. The tax is illegal. You know, it was the perfect opportunity to get rid of it. And they, you know, the thing is, everybody's saying they should have fired the parliamentarian or whatever for doing that. I read about it. I mean, she's not elected. She works for the, I can't think how they word it. She's basically there. The leading majority senator can fire her. So Thorne, whatever his name is, said, no, he's not going to fire her. I mean, she's been there since Harry Reid hired her to do the job. So she's got Democratic leanings anyway, you know? So, but what I'm saying is, but she says, no, you can't do that. But she's not the law. They could ignore her. They haven't done it since I think it was back in the 70s or something, that they ignored the parliamentarian on some law they were changing. And they said, no, we're not going to do it. We're going to do it what we got written down. And they went ahead and voted for it. And we could have done that too. You know, they could have told her, no, thanks for your info, but we're going to do it our way. You know, that was legal to do. And no, did they do it? No. So basically, and the Democrats are all there sniggering. Oh, look, we fucking got them when we're not even in charge. You know? So, don't get me. Oh, got them. What can I say? I can't have one if they did what you wanted. I can't have one if they did what you wanted. Why can't you have one? Is it illegal in your state? Is it illegal?
Fine.
It is in New York too for suppressor?
Yeah, as far as I know, yes. That's New York. What do you expect? I don't know.
Yeah, but Illinois can be the same too. That's where Tony's at. I don't think he's moved to Missouri yet.
Federally would have been a good first step, but then maybe the state could be nudged that way as well. But obviously, it didn't seem to work that way.
Yeah, but it's a big, to me, it's a big blow to the, it's been the first time in years that we're actually winning. You know what I'm saying? And it just we got kicked in the balls, basically, by our own people who we thought were meant to be working for us. I mean, I should have realized the deep state is in there. They got them, There's one or two. There's one or two that are doing a half-ass decent job, but problem is there's too many that are rather keep their mouth shut, keep their head down, and take the money.
Yep.
Unfortunately, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the money. You've heard me say it literally every week. When you can make millions of dollars when you only earn $174,000 a year, but you can make millions of dollars a year being in Congress, there's something wrong with there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pumping gas earlier this morning. A complete stranger on the other side of the pump started making small talk. And it started with the gas price, and then it went to right what you were just saying. And this guy was telling me that, he's like, there's something got to be crooked. And I'm like, yeah. Like, this is the wrong time of day to get me going. I'm on my way to work. So, I was like, yeah, totally get it, man. Like I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, but that's the way they do it, I mean, that's odd when just the average guy is sitting there complaining about the same thing we're complaining about,
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
got to be bigger than just us. So I don't know why we do allow this to continue like that. Why, well, we can ask, but they're not going to punish themselves. They're not going to reduce their own funding. So
Nobody's got the balls to stop paying taxes.
yeah, man, and everybody's going to keep paying taxes. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know. But I fell into the trap that it was going to be different this time.
Oh shit! That's what she always tells you.
It was going to be different this time, and no, it wasn't. The Republicans did the exactly same thing as they always do. They buckle. I don't know what the Democrats have over the actual individuals, but it seems, the Democrats are still ruling, but they're not in charge. It's pathetic. It really is. Ugh. Oh well. Life goes on. I feel sorry for the young people. I don't have many. I ain't got a lot of years left. I'm hoping to be here for another 20, 25 years, but I ain't guaranteeing it. But it's just, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Because I'm beating a dead horse here. Y'all, I'm preaching to the choir, But now I got a gun question, actually. It's to do with my 308. I mean, right now, I got the tripod on the front, and I sit at the table with the tripod. But right now, since I've only just got it, I'm holding the buttstock against my shoulder when I'm shooting. Should I use a bag instead of the gun against my shoulder? I'm not giving it any support like the long distance shooters do. They normally have a bag there where their shoulder is to hold it steady and shit. I mean, what do any of you guys use a rear bag when you're shooting? Is what I want to know. Because they tell me you could hold the gun steadier with the rear bag than you can just using your shoulder. I don't know if that's true or not. I hit my target when I do it my way, but I'm only shooting out to 130 yards right now when I'm shooting it. So,
I mean, I guess it depends what you want to do. Obviously, I think it probably falls down to personal preference. I know I don't really shoot with shoot long range anymore or whatever, but not like the level that they're talking about probably or whatnot, competition or whatnot. We just don't have that many areas around here to do so legally. So, but whatever's going to work for you. So I don't think there's really a certain certain method you have to take. It's what you're comfortable with. I know myself, I still don't like bags and stuff, because I don't know, I'm more on natural supporting or going prone with longer shots. So I'm on the ground using the skeletal structure. But that's me. The other people doing competitions, you're probably way better being more supported with either a bipod or something going on. So, but everybody's
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
choose what's right for them and what they're doing. I just never want to get in the habit to where I have to depend on a bag or something else, in a jam, basically. So I'd like to be able to lean against a tree or to the ground or, whatever, and get support if needed and go, obviously, in an emergency. Be used to that habit, then sitting down, everything's right, it's all, locked in, and basically, get on target and you can't miss, basically. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Gun Hobo says, I only use a bag when I'm sighting in. Okay. All right. But what I'm saying, see, sighting in, sort of like I keep going this long distance shit. I ain't done it yet. But I would imagine the further out you're going, the more steadier you got to hold it, because the distance, an inch at 100 yards is going to be, a couple of feet at 1,000.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to hold. I mean, as I said, at my 130 yards, I hold it again. I use the bipod in my shoulder and looking through the thing. I have no problem. I hit my target. I tell you, nearly almost every. I rarely ever miss. I mean, because I had that. I mean, with that scope on there, it's like hell. I look at it so close. I feel like I can put my arm out there and touch it. It's that close through the scope. So yeah. Anyway, so there we go. So I was thinking. I mean, I've never used the bag, but I was thinking of looking into getting one. See, and that's my next question. I mean, there's so many different types out there, if you're going to buy one. But I was thinking of making my own, using a couple of old socks, heavy duty socks. I have a couple of pairs that I haven't worn in a long time, and get some. And what I was thinking is getting some of the plastic filler that you can get at a hobby shop, little round ball, and pour it in there. That way, if it rains, it's not going to. Because somebody said we'll use rice inside, but if the rice gets wet, you're screwed. But with the little plastic round balls in there, it doesn't absorb water and stuff. I thought, that's what I was thinking of making my own. But because I've seen you can buy some. You can buy, cheap or reasonably priced, but then the reviews ain't that great. The bag splits on you and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. So I haven't decided which way I'm going on that. But I've asked what everybody does, what they use, but I'm personally leaning towards getting a bag and at least try. And I don't want to spend a lot in case I don't like it, So that's why I was thinking of making my own, just to see if I like it, and if it works for me, then maybe look at buying one of those better ones out there. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Another thing I want to talk about is, did any of you guys use that, what was it, chronograph? What do you call it, where you measure how fast your bullet is going?
Chronograph, yeah.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have one. I know it tends to be usually reloaders, so you can
Well,
check
I am.
Yeah.
because what I was thinking was, if I'm going to, like I told you this summer, hopefully, I don't know if we're going to get to it, is build that 300 odd yard range in his backyard, right? Cut the shooting lane down through the trees. If you're going to use a ballistic calculator to work out exact you need to know the actual speed of your bullet to get an accurate reading. And all I'm doing is taking the speed, the information off the box, like these. I mean, like these things I'm using here. What's it say? It is the velocity's 2,700 feet per second. So that's what I'm putting in, right? I'm trying to match the same recipe, weight of the bullet and the amount of powder to come up. Hopefully I'm hitting 2,700, but I could be hitting less or I could be hitting more, and that's why I was wondering whether it'd be worth getting one. Now, what I would like is one of the electronic ones. But have you seen the price of them things? The ones that you've always seen where they have the wires like antennas and you shoot through them and it measures it for you. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I think the portable one, I overheard DM Foss mentioning, I think he said Coldwell or Codwell or something like that. So I guess that's the more affordable one that's still deemed okay. So
yeah. But I mean, the ones they got now, you're talking a few $100s for them, but it sits on a little tripod. It's a little thing, no bigger than like a GoPro camera. You sit it by the front of next to where your rifle you're shooting. Just sit it there and start shooting it, and it measures it. It's amazing what they can do nowadays. So how they measure it, I'm not sure. Is it about sound waves or what? I don't know, but they're, but you're right. I mean, I would go cheap on that too. I'm budget conscious, so it's something I want to. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, in the next month or two, but it's something that I want to get into. So that was my questions for you guys. Basically, should I use a bag, and should I buy one or make one, and should I get one of those machines to measure the speed of my bullet, before I can get my, when I'm going out there, that I can do the right amount of clicks on the old scope to get to get right to the target. Because I'd rather do it that way than holding these. Because the way scopes are, they got all that crisscrossing in there now, and you can hold it. You see where if you can see where it hit, you can hold it. Put that your crosshairs where it hit, and it should hit the center of what you're aiming at. I don't want to do it that way. I want to dial it in. So yeah, all these plans. I got all these mighty plans I want to do, but we'll see how far I get on this. Yeah. So
I'd say make a bet, man. Give it a try. Or see what you got around the house. You may be able to just find something kind of to make it to see if you like it, and then if you do,
you home already?
You can buy. Yeah, I made it back.
You sound better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, what you call it? Well, who? Oh, it was Kevin. he said, I thought you only ranted when you were hungry. True, but I had my pork chops and stuff, but I ain't had my dessert yet. You know, I got maple, no, butter pecan ice cream. That's what I'm having for dessert. You know, I know it's throwing everything out the window, but I love butter pecan ice cream. You know, they say, you know, what will you do for a Klondike bar? What would I do for butter pecan ice cream? I tell you. Yeah. Well, hey, I didn't buy it. You know, she bought it. So I can't say no thanks. I don't want any. You know, that would be impolite and rude. You know, so yeah. Anyway, it's quiz time. Hey, have you emptied your truck out, or are you working on that now?
Pulling the stuff off right now that I don't want anybody to snag. I got a gas can on there, and let's see, clipboard with money attached to it and stuff like that. So we're getting all that out, and
Okay.
I'll finish later. So
Yeah.
I got a whole 10 by 12 shed in the back of my truck, and 2 big rolls of fencing and the flooring for the old shed and everything.
Is
plus
this your
some
own
other
truck you're using?
Yeah. Yep.
That thing's still going, huh?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Still cruising along, man.
That bed hasn't rusted out yet?
It's rusted, that's for sure. But but it's still
it still holds it in there. So
yeah. Oh yeah, it's still doing its thing. I mean, yeah, it's pretty full over here. Got some rust going on. But yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if it still does the job, why not? You know?
Yeah, that's basically it. You know, I'll use it until I can't no more, and then go for something. Yeah,
but
basically.
Hey, you need to keep that thing running. Have you seen the price of used pickups?
Oh yeah.
I'm not even talking about new ones. Used ones are even expensive now.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah, truthfully, like, you know, me, I'm picky. I don't like a lot of the new trucks, and everybody's probably gonna be like, "What?" But I don't know. They just there's too much shit involved with them. Basically, too many bells and whistles. All the shit other people like, I don't want. I really don't, because it's more shit I gotta fix. I'm not paying somebody else to fix it. I fix it. So I don't need 200 sensors for this or that. Like, especially after having this one for like 20 years, and shit, I really don't have to do much to it. So throw gas in it.
Where I was going with this is, my buddy, the mechanic, he just bought himself, his wife bought it, just bought an 87 Dodge truck, right?
Okay.
No AC. It runs just about, right? It had 4 brand new tires on it. It ran, but he's putting all new bits and stuff in it. Where I was going is, an 87, and it still costs $5,000. For a pickup truck.
Yeah. Well, I'm shocked it doesn't cost more, honestly.
They got a good deal. He knows what he's looking for and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And plus, he knows how to do the work on it. Where most people think, oh, that's going to cost a fortune to do, so the person's selling it cheap because people aren't going to be able to, going to cost them a lot of money to fix it, and he knows how to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's doing a great job on that truck. It's for his wife. She bought it for herself for the winter time. That's why she doesn't need AC in it. It's got a heater, but it doesn't have AC.
Yeah.
So he's got all summer. He's working on it all summer. You know, adding little bits on it. She's buying all these trinkets to put on it, and so he's putting it on there for her. You know. But I said, you're more likely to end up with that truck, and she's going to take your new one. He goes, actually, he said, I wouldn't mind. He said, I like this truck. He goes, it's my kind of thing, you know. So, anyway, that's what I was going with. I mean, I was, you know, I said, well, if you paid that for that, I said, that actually has less rust on it than my truck does. I mean, I said, how much do you think I'll get for mine? He said, if you were going to sell it as is right now, he said, you know, he reckons 3,000 plus without even trying. He goes, he said, that's a good deal. I thought, damn, I didn't think it was worth that much, you know, because it's a 97, you know.
Yeah. I know here being in the north, you know, if it runs, you can start at 2,500. Like you could kill yourself on the fenders all sliced up or whatever, but people buy those for plow trucks, farm trucks, things like that. So if it's 4-wheel drive and it runs, you can sell it. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how ugly it is, you know, whether you got a busted window, you know, or something like, not a window, but you know, yeah, your window don't roll down, stuff like little shit like that. They don't even care. They'll still buy it. So yeah, I get people offering me money for my truck, which I think's funny because they just know I've been driving it forever. My inspection shop, he's been trying to buy it off me a couple times. So you know,
well, you
about
know,
ready for a new one. Yeah, like sure. I go get a new one, and that'll be shit before you're done driving my old one. So I don't know.
And if you buy another old one, by the time you spent money doing all the jobs fixing it, you know.
Yeah,
but if you like doing that kind of stuff, you know. That's
it's nice when you don't have to be to work tomorrow. You know, it's when you do it at your own leisure. It's nice preventatively, but yeah, I don't really mind. I'd almost rather, you know, say take, I don't know, 40 grand or something and go buy a used truck and then buy whatever I need to make it, you know, bring it up to spec, basically, you know, bring it back to life. I'd rather do that, even if it costs me the amount of a new truck, because that old truck, it still exists. It's going to outlast any of these new trucks. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about changing it up for my appearance every 3 to 5 years. I couldn't give a shit about that. So
I mean, that's what my friend said. He's a Mopar man through and through. You know, he said, like my because mine's a Ford F-150 97. He said, as much as I detest Fords, he said, your Ford, he said, your truck is in, you know, he said the body's rusted a bit, but he said the frame's still solid, the motor's still great. He said, you know, keep on driving it. It's what he said. Yeah, you know, so that's what I'm going to keep on doing. So
it's been working out for me. I mean, shit, probably more than 10 years ago, people were like, "Oh, you getting a new truck?" And I'm like, no plans on it anytime soon, you know? When I drove that thing to Wyoming, I think people thought I was crazy.
Would you
fine.
Would you do it again?
Right. Yeah, actually I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I don't have any reason to doubt it. I just did a fuel pump and had to patch a fuel leak that I created when I changed the pump out. But that pump's been in there for shit. I'd have to look at paperwork, but at least 8 years.
Yeah.
which is saying something because for a while I'd put one in and I'd need a new one every year. Like, I don't know what the deal is, you know. I'd buy the more expensive pump the next time, it'd still go out in a year. More expensive pump the next time, still go out in a year. Finally, I just said, screw it. And I went and bought the cheapest pump they sell, which was like $60.
And it's still working.
Did you hear that? $60. And it lasted close to 10 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Try to find a fuel pump for a new truck for $60. See what happens.
I agree with you. I agree with
You know, that's the beauty about it. You know, they're still making parts. There's still a lot of them out there. So,
Oh yeah, there's parts for an F-150 all over the place.
Oh yeah, same thing with yours. Yeah. You know, at a certain point, it'll get harder to find parts, but you know, it's still going to be a while. There's at least in my area, I see all these trucks everywhere, and more people are wanting them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, what I was thinking is where I got the bed's rusting a little bit, the actual floor of the bed, you know, but where I'm getting a lot of rust is the passenger side. When you open the door, the seal right at the bottom on the door for not the actual door itself, but the seal, you know, where you put your foot to step up into the truck on the passenger side. That's rusting.
Rockers then, on the bottom.
That's rusting. But they can be changed out, can it? You know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need those technically. So that's weight reduction, save some gas.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, you can get them replaced. Believe it or not, they sell them fairly affordable.
Yeah.
The part that costs money is getting it installed properly.
I got a friend that could do that.
Well, if he's good at that, you can usually get rockers under $100 a side.
Yeah. But then, as you said, I mean, and we don't need inspections here in Indiana, so you know, there's really no point.
When you close the door, nobody sees it anyway. What the hell?
Exactly.
This is a work truck. What do I care?
Yeah. You know what I more than likely end up doing is getting some good old what in the hell is the name of it? That stuff where you can they say you can cut a hole in a boat and spray it.
That Flex Seal tape stuff.
The tape. I just put tape over it and paint it. You know, that's more like what I end up doing. You know?
It'll be just like a PA truck.
Yeah. So
on a PA, they can't have any rust bigger than a dime or a quarter, I believe. So you'll find a lot of sketchy body work with foam and all types of shit. It looks great till you hit a pothole, and then your whole car just kind of separates. So you got to be careful about those when you're shopping. It might just seem like, oh, it's just a little spot there. Well, no, that's just it's a big spot. That's just where it didn't finish right. So, but. I don't do that. I don't have to in my state here, but
Anyway, it's gone 8. I got to do today's the quiz to do the drawing. So let me get that done out of the way. The question for last month was I wanted to know what a punt gun was, and originally. It was a 2-gauge. That's what a punt gun was, and it was designed to be mounted on a punt, a type of flat bottom boat used for waterfowl hunting. You know, it was used for duck hunting, and they used to kill birds in large numbers. While not as common in modern times, 2-gauge shotguns were a significant part of hunting history, particularly in the late 19th century. Why it is still legal to own a punt gun, they haven't been allowed for hunting in the U.S. since 1918. So there you go. That was the question I was looking for. And believe it or not, I thought that was so easy, but I only had 2 entries. So let me do my drawing here real quick. And let's see who it is. Where's my picker? Here it is. Click on it. Okay, we've got Jacob S. is the winner. Jacob enters every one. He's a good old boy. I think he's a young guy, actually, but he enters. And so he's the winner. Let me write that down so I can send out the swag pack to him. So there we go. All right. Now the quiz for July. Let me see. And the first Wednesday of August will be the 6th of August is when I'll do the drawing for that swag pack. So basically from today, so we got 4 or 5 weeks from today to come up with the answer. So there you go. So my question here is, this is another easy one, I thought. I want to know when and what it was and by who was the first practical metallic cartridge was invented. The first practical metallic cartridge. By who? What sort of caliber is what I'm asking, and the name of the guy. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get the answer into me by the 6th of August, and you'll be in for the swag pack. So there you go. All right. Have you got any remarks of closings or anything you want to say there, New York Outcast?
Nothing really. Just the normal. Thanks for joining us. Catch this in replay. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, eat a salad, dodge the landmines, stay cool, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. Thanks. And for everybody, I want to say thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your 4th of July. Be patriotic. As much as we bitch and moan, as I bitch and moan, this is still a great country. And I'm glad you're all here. And I will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.